Hello and welcome to another open source workplace video. If this is your first time coming across the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're alerted to all upcoming videos. Today, I'm very happy to bring Katherine Hugh to the channel. Katherine is from PWC. So Katherine, thank you for joining us today and welcome to Open Source Workplace.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
No, thank you. Thank you. And now you're PWC. What do you do there?
So I head up our occupier services business, which we define as any of our clients that are not in the real estate industry, but occupy a good amount of real estate. Many of our corporate clients fall into that category. So those are my clients. And we help them with a whole host of services within advisory.
So you must hear an awful lot from a lot of people then, if that's your client base, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because most of PwC's clients fit into my category. So I do hear from all different industries, bits and pieces. Yeah.
And it'd be great over the next couple of interviews that we do to dig into some of the commonalities or some of the anomalies that you've experienced or things that have come up, so we all can learn from that. Now, one of the things you talk your role is explained as is digitizing real estate.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
So what we mean by that is just any opportunities to use technology or automation, AI, bots, in order to achieve, tasks or activities within real estate. We try to promote that to our clients. There's some technology, larger systems that we support in implementing to achieve that. But in other areas, it's just taking a process that's monotonous and redundant and optimizing that using technology.
And do you think COVID has accelerated some of those initiatives?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that companies have really started to see what the value of the human is, and what activities like you want to have human impact and human touch on, and the ones that you don't necessarily need human touch on. And so it's really shifted the types of employees that I think companies are looking for, and the types of employees that companies are valuing as well. I think there's one element, there's a strong drive towards employees that are very technologically enabled and digitally upskilled. And then on the other side, they're looking for employees that have more of those soft skills, as they say, but that can, read other humans, empathy, and ability to present and to lead teams and to inspire. So some of those skills that you will never be able to achieve with technology, they want to make sure that they have that skill set in their armory as well.
So do you think the role is going to change for those that do work in real estate, or do you think it's the person that will be different who manages the real estate in the future?
I think it could be, I'm going to give you a very consulting answer. Yes and no.
Of course.
I think that there are some activities, like if you look in the brokerage space, for example, there's a lot of activities that brokers do that could probably be enhanced or even replaced by technology. But there are huge components of a broker's job where it's more about that relationship and having the trust that that person's going to see through these large projects and help you find the very best property out there for your company and really understands your company. So that's more of a human connection. So I think there will be. I'm not confident that there are roles that would be completely replaced by technology, but I think there are components of roles that could probably be enhanced by technology.
Yeah, and it's obviously, as somebody who works in one of these organizations myself, and I look at the roles, and it's front of mind for me, what will my role be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, and then how do I keep myself relevant for what those changing roles are? So I look to learn more as we have these conversations. Now, I mean, obviously that's your day job, but actually your big job is you're a mom of 2. So
Yes.
how has COVID impacted that duty?
Yeah, it's been a struggle. I think and I'll be very honest with you. At first, like the first 6 weeks, I was really struggling. I was just completely overwhelmed and stressed out. And then I got on a call with one of my mentors, and she said to me, she's like, "Why are you trying to operate at the same level that you were operating at before COVID. Like that's impossible right now. You don't have the same amount of hours. You don't have the same support network that you had. So just do the best you can, and hearing someone in leadership say that to me really
Mm.
helped me with just reframing my day, and it was challenging. It has been challenging, but I've gotten into a routine. My husband and I have been splitting up the day. I homeschool in the morning, and then he homeschools in the afternoon, and our kids are so young that it's, they need us there. So what are we going to do?
Yeah, and I think it's an important thing, right? Trying to find that balance. And I think as we've all went through COVID, we've learned how to adjust, and it's sort of a recognition of actually how adaptable we are as humans,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I'm sure for
100%.
your kids too, like, that must have been a big change as well.
Oh, I completely. I mean, I keep saying to my 5-year-old, I said to her, I'm like, never in the history of humans has a group of students had to learn in the way that you've had to learn this year. And like, this is incredible. And it's such an achievement that you embraced it, and that you thrived in it. And she's 5, so she's like, okay, where's the chocolate or something? But
And you're my mom. You're supposed to say this stuff to me,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's like, whatever. Um, but it is pretty impressive, I think, that they've been able to thrive.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Now, you obviously you live in the city, but you then made a decision to leave the city.
Yes.
What was that like? How did you come to that, and how's it been being away from the city for this time?
Yeah. So it took us all of 3 days to come to the conclusion that we should probably leave. Our apartment is, less than 1,000 square feet, and we just were like, we could not get away from each other. And after 3 days, my husband and I were like, we are not gonna make it as a family of 4 in this apartment. So we decided to move. And it's been nice being out of the city, but especially with all of the the protests and stuff that's been going on in the
Hmm.
city, I've definitely missed the energy. I've missed being a part of such a huge movement. So
Right.
there definitely have been components where I really miss the city. So far, I'm just cruising into summer, and I think I think we'll stay put for at least a couple more months. So,
Yeah, and I think, I mean, big cities, the folks, it's the attraction, right? It is that
right.
vibe. And although you're not there, the vibe currently isn't there. So it's like,
Yes.
it's really, what are you missing? What are you missing, really?
Really. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've had time to think about this, but when do you plan to go back to the city?
Yeah. I have started to think about it. It really depends on the schools for me. I've heard that potentially the schools will be doing some uh, mixed learning in September, where half the students will be coming back, the other half will be remote. That impacts like my job. That impacts how I do my work, and it's easier for me to do that in more space. So if I can, if that's going to be the case, we'll probably stay here
Right.
until the schools are back up and running in person.
And with that, just as part of your conscious, obviously your girls, they're young, routine is so important, as is obviously for you and your husband. Is that
Yep.
a factor?
Absolutely, absolutely. If they had said that the kids could go back, even this week, I would probably say no, because we are in a routine, and it took us a while to get here, and I don't want to, throw a wrench into that right now.
No, no, I understand that. So obviously, as we wrap up here, you were given great advice as to what to expect from yourself, which helped you.
Yeah.
And for other working moms out there, is there any lasting words that you would have, or guidance you would give?
Yeah, I think that each family dynamic is different, and I will say that my husband and I split the primary caregiver role pretty evenly, and for some moms that's not the case, and that's okay. That's completely okay too. But I think what I've been telling to my colleagues and friends is just like, do the best you can, and that you can't hold yourself you can't hold yourself to the pre-COVID expectations in this environment right now, and that's okay. I really hope that companies acknowledge that, and make sure that they protect primary caregivers during this time. I know that PWC is doing that, so I
Mm.
hope that others are doing that as well. But I don't kill yourself over this. This is just, we'll get through this, and everyone's struggling in their own way. So just get through it.
Yeah, and that's those are great words of wisdom, Catherine. So thank you. Look, and thank you for giving us your time today. And I really look forward to chatting with you in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you.